皆さんおはようございます。Thank you for joining me today. This is the Japanese Easy News article of the day for January 27th, 2026. 2026年1月27日の今日の記事でございます。So for our headline today, we have 衆議院の選挙が始まった。投票日は2月8日。Okay, here is our vocabulary list from the headline. So we have 衆議院, which is the House of Representatives, the lower house. So Japan has two houses. The 衆議院 is the lower house. We have 選挙, which is an election. 始まる, which is to begin or to start. And 投票, which is vote. This could also be 投票する, to cast your vote or to vote. 投票 or 投票する. Okay, so jumping back into our headline with that vocabulary down, we have 衆議院の選挙が始まった. So 衆議院 is going to be that lower house or the House of Representatives. We have 選挙, which is the election. So the election for the lower houses, that no describing one noun using another noun. が始まった. So 始まる in the past tense here. So, has started or begun. That's 始まる. So the elections for the lower house have begun, have started. And then 投票日. So 投票, once again, is vote. And then if you know this kanji here, this kanji means day. So we add that to 投票. This means the day for voting or election day, right? So 投票日は2月8日. So 2月 be February, and 8日 is the 8th. So, the elections for the lower house have begun. The day for voting, or the election day, is February 8th. Okay, here is our vocabulary list from the article. We have 議員, which is a member of the house. So we had 衆議院 would be the house. 議員 is a member of the house. We have 選ぶ. I swear this shows up every single day, but that's to select or to choose. Then we have 政党, which is a political party. 手続き, a procedure. 政治, politics. 値段, price. 外国, foreign country. 関係, relationship. 意見, an opinion. 与党, the ruling party, so the political party who currently has the most power in the Japanese political system is called the 与党. And we have 続く, to continue, and 関心, interest. And this is interest as in having interest in something, not interest like in a monetary sense. All right, so here is our grammar point from the article today. We have た when it's used in the middle of a sentence, not as an embedded question, but as an alternative. So this is one way in Japanese how you can say or. So if you're giving two options or two or more options, you can use た in the middle of a sentence. So let's look at some examples here. So we have 行きたいのか、行きたくないのか、早く決めて. So, 行きたいのか. So this no here, we're turning this into a noun. It's like, is that the kind of thing we're talking about? Is this the situation that you want to go? So this 行きたい is 行く, to go, and the たい form to want to go. So 行きたいのか. So this か is that or here. And then 行きたくないのか. So when we have the 行きたい and we want to turn it into a negative, the たい form conjugates as an e adjective, so we drop that e and say くない. So 行きたくない. We don't want to go. 行きたくないのか、早く決めて. So 早く is to do something quickly, and 決める is in the て form here, but 決める is to decide or choose. So hurry up and choose whether you want to go or not. And we have 今日は豚骨ラーメンか 麻婆豆腐にします。So, 今日は as for today, we have 豚骨ラーメン. So the 豚骨ramen. Ha, this is our ka giving us our alternative or 麻婆豆腐 is 麻婆豆腐にします. So if you have にします, this is like selecting or deciding on something. So if you're at a restaurant and you'd like to make an order, you can also use にします instead of like ください or お願いします. You say 麻婆豆腐にします. So I would like to have the 麻婆豆腐. That's what I'm doing today. Right? So this ka just gives us the option between the two. 豚骨ラーメンか麻婆豆腐にします. So this is probably talking to someone in the car on the way to the restaurant. What are you going to have today? 豚骨ラーメンか麻婆豆腐にします. And finally, we have a little bit more of a fun one. We have この国を手に入れるのは俺かお前だ。どっちになるか調べてみようか. So, この国 be this country を手に入れる. So literally this is to put in your hand, to insert in your hand. But this kind of has the same thing in English, where it's like you have something in your hand, you own it, you possess it, or you control it, right? So 手に入れるのは. So no can take the place of many nouns. So here it's the one who will have this country in their hands or be in control of this country. は俺かお前だ. So 俺 me, お前 both very casual, very bad guy kind of words, right? So it'll be me or you who owns this country or controls this country. And then the da is just the plain form des. So is, it will be me or you. どっちになるか. So this is actually the other ka. This is called an embedded question, where we have a verb that involves a question. So here we have 調べる, is to find out, and then what we are finding out is a question. So this is a slightly different ka, but sometimes you'll see them together. So here we have どっち when you have two options, which one of the two options. どっちになるか. So になる is be. So the particle に with the verb なる to become. So which it will be. 調べてみようか. So 調べる to look into or to do research. With てみる is kind of, you'll give it a shot and see how it goes. And then this 見る is in the volitional form, so let's do it. Let's go ahead and see or look it up and find out who it will be between the two of us.
衆議院の議員を選ぶ選挙が始まりました。今日、選挙に出る人や政党が手続きをしました。選挙に出た人たちは、今の高市総理大臣の政治がいいかどうかや、物の値段が高いこと、外国との関係などについて自分の意見を言っています。選挙では全部で465人の議員を選びます。与党の議員が半分より多く選ばれて高市総理大臣の政治が続くのか、それともそうならないのか、関心が集まっています。投票する日は2月8日です。
All right, let's jump right into our article here.
衆議院の議員を選ぶ選挙が始まりました。
Okay, so 衆議院の議員を選ぶ選挙が. So 衆議院 would be the lower house. 衆議院の議員 which would be the members of the house, を選ぶ, so to select the members of the lower house. 選挙, so all of this describes the kind of 選挙, so the election for choosing the members of the lower house, が始まりました. So this が connects to 始まる. So the election for selecting the members of the house, 始まりました. So 始まる is to begin or to start, as we saw in our headline. And let's go on to the next sentence.
今日、選挙に出る人や政党が手続きをしました。
Okay, so here we have 今日, or this could be 27日 or 27日, the 27th or today. 選挙に出る人, so 選挙, once again, the election, 選挙に出る, people who are going to be or show up in the election. And then, sorry, I said 人. So people who are going to be in the election. や政党, so political parties or people who are going to be in the election. が, they're going to do something. 手続きをしました. So 手続き is the procedures. Pretty much anytime there's work involved to get something done, we can use the word 手続き. So here they did what they needed to in order to be ready for the election. So 手続きをしました. So する in the past tense. They did these procedures. So the people and the parties who are going to be in the election did the necessary procedures today or on the 27th.
選挙に出た人たちは、今の高市総理大臣の政治がいいかどうかや、物の値段が高いこと、外国との関係などについて自分の意見を言っています。
Okay, so this is a big one here, but if we break it down piece by piece, I think it'll be nice and easy. So we have 選挙に出た人たちは. So 選挙に出た, once again, the people who have been in the election, 出る to come out or to show up or to participate in as well. So 選挙に出た人, and then this tachi makes it plural, so we're 100% talking about multiple people. 選挙に出た人たちは our main idea. 今の高市総理大臣. So 今, something about now connected to another noun with の. 高市総理大臣. So 高市総理大臣 is Prime Minister Takaichi. And then の政治. So the politics of Prime Minister Takaichi. But then we also have 今の here, so the current politics of Prime Minister Takaichi が, so this is going to be something or is going to do something. And then we have いい, so is good, right? So the politics or the current politics of Prime Minister Takaichi がいい is good. And then we have かどうか. So かどうか is how we say whether or not in Japanese, right? So whether or not the current politics or basically what she's doing, right? What the prime minister is currently doing, her policies, politics, that kind of stuff. Whether it's good or not, yeah. So this is one item we're discussing here. 物の値段が高いこと. So 物 is objects, and then objects の値段. So 値段 is prices. So prices of things or objects が高い. So 高い is expensive. So the fact that things are very expensive. こと. Since this is an e adjective, if we want to make it into a thing, we can use a nounifier like こと turns it into a noun. So whether or not the current policies of Prime Minister Takaichi are good or not, the increasing prices of things or objects. And then we have a third thing in our list here. 外国との関係. Oops, sorry, this should have some furigana here. This is 関係. So 外国との関係. So 関係 is relationship. And then if we want to connect that with a noun and say this with that other noun, so 外国 being a foreign country, 外国との関係 would be a relationship with foreign countries. And then など tells us these are three things in particular, but there are other things like them that also happened. And などについて, so について means about or concerning, relating to. 自分の意見を言っています. So 自分の is something of your own. So their own, and we have 意見, which is opinions. を言っています, which is to say in the ている form here. So they are saying this. So the people who were in the election were giving their opinions or stating their opinions about whether they think the current policies of Prime Minister Takaichi are good or not. They talked about the increasing prices of objects, the fact that objects are expensive, and the relationship with other countries. And then this nado, in addition to other similar things, right?
選挙では全部で465人の議員を選びます。
Okay, so 選挙では. So in the election, 選挙 is election, では is in, and that's going to be our main idea with that wa there. So 選挙では全部で, so overall or in total, 465人. So 465 people are counted for people. 人 の議員. So 議員 is members, and we just attach that to our counter with no. So 465 members を選びます. So this is what we are selecting, is these 465 members of the lower house. And 選ぶ once again to select.
与党の議員が半分より多く選ばれて高市総理大臣の政治が続くのか、それともそうならないのか、関心が集まっています。
Okay, another big one here, but we can break it down. So, 与党の議員. So, 与党 is the ruling party, currently the LDP, or the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan. 与党の議員, so members of this political party が, so they're going to do something or be something. 半分より, so 半分 is half, an amount of half. 半分より, so this is going to be more or less than half. Looking at the next word, it's going to be 多く, which is coming from 多い, more. So more than half 選ばれて. So 選ぶ is to select. 選ばれる is to be selected. This is called the passive form. Then we have this in the te form here. So we're still continuing this main idea with this te form. So members of the LDP, or the ruling party, will more than half be selected, and 高市総理大臣の政治. So once again, 高市総理大臣, the Prime Minister 高市の政治, the policies or the rule or the politics of Prime Minister 高市が続くのか. So 続く is to continue. So whether, oh sorry, and then we have a no ka here, right? So this is our option here. So we're saying this is one option, this is the other option, or alternatives, right? So whether the members of the LDP, or more than half of the members of the lower house, will be selected from members of the LDP, and whether the policies of Prime Minister Takaichi will continue or not, or それとも is also another thing we can use in combination with this ka She gives like, or alternatively. That's kind of what それとも does here. そうならないのか. So is so like in English, be that certain way. And then そうなる would be to be that way, but this is in the negative, or where things will not turn out that way. And then 関心が集まっています. So 関心 is interest, and this is kind of a cool phrase in Japanese. So 集まる is when something gathers or collects together in one place. So 関心が集まる. It's kind of like there is lots of interest in this topic, right? So there's lots of interest as to whether more than half of the seats of this 465 will be selected from members of the LDP, and the policies and the politics of Prime Minister Takaichi will continue, or whether that will not be the case. And our final sentence here.
投票する日は2月8日です。
Okay, and a very simple one to finish off on. 投票する日は. So 投票する, once again, to vote. And 日 is day, so the day for voting, or election day は2月8日です. So 2月, February, and 8日, the 8th. So, yeah, a lot of interesting things going on in Japanese politics. With Japanese politics, a lot of it is about who is the ruling party and what the other parties are doing to kind of join forces to be against or to support the ruling party. So there's been some alliances kind of moving around in the past year or so. It's kind of shaking things up because the LDP has been in control of Japan for a very long time, and they've really lost power recently. But with the new Prime Minister Takaichi, she's very popular, particularly among young people, which is kind of a shocker because she is pretty conservative. But it's kind of interesting to see what's going on there. So thank you so much for being here today. And if this is your first time being here, please like and subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified. Every weekday when we upload these videos, we only miss videos when I am sick, I am completely floored with other stuff, or when it's a Japanese holiday, because these articles are not published on those days. But other than that, we should be here. We also play games in Japanese on Thursday nights. That's in the US time. But if you have time, feel free to drop by and ask some Japanese questions. But thank you so much again, and I will plan on seeing you tomorrow. また明日.